Hello, and welcome back to more Leadership Nuggets. Years ago, my son asked me if I would go with him and my grandkids on an Appalachian Trail hike. I won't bore you with the details, but an old man with those three young people hiking around in the mountains, I learned some stuff, and I think it applies to leadership too. So here's some ways I think a career could be much like the trail. Look at this, almost 2,200 miles walking through 14 states, 465,000 feet of elevation changes up and down and up and down, like climbing Mount Everest 16 times. And then over all the people that try to hike the whole trail, only a few people can actually make it all the way through. And it is an incredibly diverse ecosystem, just like healthcare administration. So here are some ways I think that hiking the Appalachian Trail can be kind of like your leadership journey. When you think you're at the top, you get to the top of a hill or a little mountain and you think that's it. And next thing you know is there's another hill and another hill and another hill. There's almost always another hill to climb. But just like in your career, there's no limit to what you can do if you just keep going. You got to know where you're going, but you really got to pay close attention to what's right in front of you. A trip and fall on the trail can be absolutely devastating. So you pay attention to your footing and to the trail and the hazards that are in the trail, but don't lose sight of where you want to go ultimately. And these trails are marked, but that doesn't do you any good unless you know how they're marked and where to find those markings. And sometimes that's not easy. So in your career, you got to be looking for what are those milestones? What's the next thing you need to be aware of? When you're hiking, I can tell you that something as small as just a blister can end up being just devastating. These things can end your trail hike, and little things like that, little problems can turn into big things in your career. So rest is really important on the trail, and it is in your career as well. You have to be at your game, top of your game all the time. So you need to rest, you need to get your sleep, you need to eat well, you need to take care of yourself if you're going to be able to take care of your team. When I was hiking with my kids, I was carrying a 35-pound pack, and when I needed to rest, which I did often, I would turn around and sit with the pack and my back to the top of the hill. First of all, it's easier to get your pack to rest that way, but the best thing about that is it allowed me to look at where I've been and appreciate how far I had come. And sometimes in your career, that becomes really important for your mental health and your sanity. Um, Understand your capacity as a leader, but your capacity with respect to whatever challenges you're facing. So, again, it's a big difference in the next mile you're going to go up 2,000 feet, but over the next 10 miles, it's only 4,000 feet. Understanding the differences and those challenges is important. And finally, if you're the leader, the trail hike leader, you're responsible for the people on your team on the trail. And as a leader in the industry, you are responsible for your people. You've got to make sure they're healthy, they're motivated, and that becomes your job. As always, I hope you find something interesting in here. Maybe this will, trigger something in your mind that'll help you remember as you're pursuing your career or as you're hiking this career trail. If you enjoy these, there are more available at the School of Global Health Management and Informatics here at UCF. And best of luck as you continue your journey.